No more changing poopy diapers on the floor for us. Today I'm going to show you how I built this simple frame as a baby changing topper for the entry table we built here. Now we're going to use it as a baby changing table and a place to store all of their books. Behind the door, we could store all the diapers and extra wipes. Alright, so here's the basic frame, really simple. Now I'm going to show you how I made it. I'm going to make this topper with two 1x4 boards that are 8 feet long. First thing I'm going to do is cut all 4 sides to length, 2 long ones and 2 short ones. And I'm mitering each end of the board at a 45-degree angle. Before I assemble it, I'm going to take some 220 sandpaper, sand the edges a little bit, and clean up the miter joints. Now I'm going to use wood glue and glue all the miter joints together and then use the pin nailer to hold it in place while it dries. And while it dries, I got to make sure it stays square, so I'm going to check it and make any adjustments if I need to. We designed this around the diaper pad that you saw in the beginning of the video, and I'll have links in the description where you can find that. Another use for this design, when you're done using it as a topper, you can hang it on the wall and use it as a display shelf. I had some extra glue that squeezed out of the miter joint, so I used a damp rag just to wipe that up and clean it up before it dried. The reason why I want to do the outside first, and then I'll go and put the dividers in, just so I can get this squared up without having to deal with all these extra little pieces inside here. So I like to assemble it and then double check my measurements, because if I were to cut everything first, my measurements could be off a little bit. Now that I have my middle dividers all measured out, I'm going to cut them to length. Again, I'm going to use my sanding block with some 220 sandpaper and just touch them up before I assemble them inside the frame. I have a little mark here and here. Now I just need to put a little mark here for my spacing. I have the plans available in our shop with the cut list and all the dimensions to help you build this project. There's going to be a link in the description below. Now I'm going to go through and just sand off these edges a little bit. This premium pine board that I like to buy is really nice and straight, but it does have some really sharp edges, so I'm just going through and just kind of doling those back a little bit. So this project you could build under a couple hours. The sanding is what takes the most time, but this is a pretty simple project. Once you have it sanded, you can pick out a nice finish. You can spray paint it any color you want. You can stain it, you can put a clear coat on it. So it just depends on the needs that you have in the space that you're putting this in. For safety purposes, it is best to use a mending plate to anchor the topper to the piece of furniture you're going to put it on, and also use some hardware to anchor it to the wall. I'll leave a link in the description box below where you can find those. And don't forget, this also works as a nice display box hung on the wall. Just a reminder, we do have plans available and they're right here. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our DIY projects. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.